In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your engine cooling fan on your Mini Cooper. It's located behind your radiator. Make sure the vehicle's lukewarm, if not cold, before doing this job, so you don't get burned. Using an 8mm socket, I'm going to remove this bolt and the same one on the other side. Now I'm going to remove the middle one with a 10mm socket. Our bolts don't look like they are stock, so if you have a different size, use the right socket for that. Using a T30, we're going to remove 2 Torx bit bolts, one here, and one in the same spot on the other side. So if you feel underneath where your fender liner is, there is a little opening. You're going to use a 10mm socket and remove this bolt. This is upside down, your view, so the head is underneath. There's one on the other side as well. After you remove this bolt, you're going to pull the bumper cover away so you can access these 2 connectors, and you're going to disconnect them or unscrew the bulb. I'm just going to unscrew the bulb. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. You can put this back in the meantime while you go to the other side. The bumper is pushed into these clips here, so you're just going to push down and undo them. Ours are broken pretty much everywhere except for these 2, so I only had to undo 2. So push down and then pull it away, and then the whole bumper should come off. We're going to start by removing these 4 nuts using a 13mm socket. You might need an extension as well. Now we're also going to take out this bolt here and also on the other side. Do the same on the other side. Before removing this, you're going to push your sockets or bulbs through on both sides. Now we're ready to remove this. You're going to grab onto it, pull up, and remove. Now we're going to remove our lower radiator hose. I'm going to use my pliers to do that. Squeeze that hose clamp and either bring it forward all the way or back. I'm going to put this one forward, and now I'm going to take some pliers and just give it a good twist. You are going to lose some fluid at this point. So make sure you have a drip pan below. And if you can control the flow by not taking it all the way off, do it. Otherwise, just let it go. After you remove that lower radiator hose, you're going to loosen this cap up top to relieve the pressure. And then the rest of the coolant should come out. Set that aside, and the rest of the coolant should drip out. Next, we're going to remove a bolt here and a bolt on the other side in the same spot. I'm using a 10mm socket. Set those aside. Next, we're going to remove our condenser and set it aside. I have a bungee cord ready to hold it up. So you're going to support your condenser away from the radiator so you can get that out. Next, we're going to remove this grommet I'm going to use a little flathead screwdriver to pull out that. And then a trim tool, pull it out the rest of the way. And do the same on the other side. Next, we're going to remove this upper radiator hose. I'm going to remove it from here instead of down here because it's easier to get to. So move that down. I'm going to use some adjustable pliers just to free it up. And just pull it off. Make sure you have a drip pan below. Now that we've released this hose, we're going to go ahead and take out this other part of these clips, and that's going to free up the top part of the radiator. Let's pull that out and do the same on the other side, and your radiator should be moving around more. Disconnect your connector over here. This is for your engine fan. To do that, you're going to push down here and pull it off. There's one on the other side as well. Next, you're going to unclip these clips off the shroud. Do the same on the rest. Now you can move your connector up and over on this side for when we pull the radiator out, it'll be ready to go. Now we're going to bend our hose down and out of the way so we can get it out. Once you get it past the hump of this plastic bracket, you can get it past there. So you're just going to push this forward. Now we're going to remove the radiator completely with fan. And now I'm going to make sure this harness comes through and set this aside. Let's remove our engine fan. To do that, you're just going to push up and it's going to slide out of these. You do have to push up and on these too. On the bottom, because there's a little tab there you got to get past. Make sure that you have your radiator somewhere where it's not going to drip all over the place. And remove it. Let's put our engine fan on. You're going to line up all 4 hooks. Once they're all lined up, you're going to just slide it down. Make sure it's not crooked. I'm going to pick it up so I can use gravity. Make sure it's locked in. Now we're going to install it. First I'm going to undo the zip tie so it's easier to get the harness through. Just cut that loose. That was just for shipping. And put that over there. And also another thing, make sure that this is pressed against this metal piece on the radiator. It adds a little cushion. Let's install. Just line everything up. You're going to want to get those 2 bushings into those slots that are on the bottom bracket. Make sure they're seated or you're not going to have enough room to push the radiator in. Another thing you're going to have to do once you get those in is feed your harness through. You're going to feed it through this hole over here. And it lies over here. We'll connect that later. Just make sure it's in the right area. After that, you're going to push this hose down and get it underneath. Make sure your padding is there. And pull it out as it goes on top. Once you get to this point, you're going to push it in. Make sure this padding stays where it belongs. And we're going to put our hose on over here. Make sure that you can reach this hose clamp. going to use my pliers and put the hose clamp back where it goes. Make sure that the hose is lined up properly with that. There's a little line right here, and there's a line on the hose. I always put my hose clamp back where it was. There's usually an indent in the hose to do that. That should be good. We're going to remove our clips and transfer them over to the new harness. To do that, you're just going to use some wire cutters and cut the zip tie. Remove it. And take the zip tie out. Now we're going to feed this through and put it on our new harness. I'm going to measure about a finger's length and put it there. Leave it loose until you get where you need to go, and don't cut off the excess until you're actually clipped on. You're going to do the same process for the other two. We're going to install our harness. We have our clips on the wire, and to do that we're going to go to this clip on the bottom and slide it forward. So you're going to line it up, slide it forward, and now we're going to connect our connector. Make sure it's lined up correctly, and put your connector on. Make sure you hear that click. And now we're going to secure it by using our first clip, which is this one. Push it on there, and once you have that pushed on, we're going to tighten down the zip tie. Now we can cut this off. And we're going to move on to our next clip, which is this one. You're going to find where it was. Ours is right here. And we're going to slide it on. Tighten up our zip tie. Make sure the wire isn't kinked. I'm just going to lower that down a little bit. And cut off the excess. And our last one is right here. Push it into place. Make sure the slack is taken up, and tighten this one down as well. And cut the excess. Now we're going to insert our plastic grommets. Just push them in all the way. Do the same on the other side. We're going to put these in now to lock that in place. Do the same on the other side. Get your hose clamp ready with your hose clamp pliers, and make sure that this clip on the hose is upwards so you can put your AC line back in it. You're going to slide your hose on. Make sure that this line lines up with that notch, that little thing sticking out on the outlet. Slide your hose clamp on and let it clamp down. Now we're going to make sure this hose is where it belongs. Let's slide this down. After you get your hose clamp on, you're going to turn this down. And put your AC line in there. Now that we're done hooking up all this, we're going to wipe it down and make sure that there's no coolant, residual coolant anywhere. And then we're going to go back up top and put the condenser back on. Let's put our condenser in. Unhook my bungee cord. And let's hook it in. Make sure it's in here and also in here. And then we're going to go up and put our bolts in. Do the same on the other side. And now we're going to snug those up. Let's put our support bracket on. Just line it up and push it onto the studs. You might have to get some light out of the way. I have a socket back here that I stuck in. Check both sides for that. Push it on. And now we're going to get our nuts going. When installing the nuts, make sure that before you tighten them all down, you have them all started. And also, when you're tightening it, make sure that they line up the way they were. I'm going to use a socket to be able to get it on this one. And then you have one bolt, and it fits through this hole. And you're going to get that one started as well. The process is the same on the other side. Make sure you get both sides started before you tighten anything down. That way it's nice and even going on. We're going to tighten down all our nuts. And then tighten down your bolt. And the process is the same on the other side. We're also going to torque these to 33 foot-pounds. We'll go around and torque these nuts to 33 foot-pounds. The bolt is torqued to 16 foot-pounds. Do the same on the other side. We're going to put our cover on now. You're going to line it up. There's going to be a bolt here and a bolt on the other side. So you just see if those match up. But before you put it all the way on, you are going to reconnect your connectors for your lights. So find them all. I had them out of the way, so I need to put them back. I'm going to feed it up through. These two go through here, and then this one's for the side marker. I'm going to start with that one. Lock it in place, or if you took the connector off instead, just snap it in and make sure you hear that click. I'm going to put the big bulb in. There is little notches that it's supposed to line up with. Screw it into place. And your last connector here, or if you undid the bulb, insert the bulb and twist. Make sure you hear the click. Do the same on the other side. For this part, ours is broken, so just put it back the way you took it out. There should be a bolt holding it together. And I'm just going to start my bolt. I'm not going to tighten it up because I still have to pull the other side out so I can do all that stuff. I'm going to show you on this side since our other side was broken, but your bolt goes up through the hole in the fender well. Get it started and tighten it down. Now we're going to snug these up and do the same on the other side. Now we're going to put our bolts in underneath. There's one in the middle and one on each side. Ours was a 10 millimeter on the middle and 8 millimeter on the outside. Yours, I don't know what you have because these are not stock. Just snug them up. And now we're going to go over here and put our bolts in. And do the same on the other side. You're going to get inside your Mini Cooper before you start it. You want to get the car ready. So you're going to put it on heat all the way up and put your fan on low. I'd put it on 1 and just make sure that's set before you even begin filling up the coolant. Now we're going to remove our cap so we can fill up our system. You're going to push down and twist. It's a little tough to do, but it should unhook and come out. It's spring loaded, so it's a little tough. So now we have our funnel installed on our cap. Use whatever you have. We're going to fill up our system with the coolant that the manufacturer recommends. You should do the same, and you're going to fill it up until it no longer keeps going in and you're about here. Now that we have coolant in our funnel, we're going to open up our bleeder screws. There are 2 on this car. There's one where the upper radiator hose is on the passenger side in the front, and then there's one in the back underneath the power steering reservoir and next to the oil filler cap. You're going to go down there and crack that open using a Phillips head or a flathead screwdriver. And you're going to watch the air come out. You're going to hear it come out, and you're going to do that with both screws. Then you're going to close down your screws. You're going to notice that the level went down in your funnel, and you're going to start the vehicle. You already have it in position where you need the heat to be. So you're just going to let it run, let it get warm, and see if you have heat. If you don't have heat, you're going to shut the car off after a while, and you're going to reopen those bleeder screws, let out the air, close them down. When the air is all done, close them down. You're going to notice the coolant went down again in the funnel. You should be all set at this point. You're going to start the car, make sure you have heat, top it off, make sure it's at max in the reservoir, which is the container that's next to the power steering reservoir, and make sure it's at max. Now you can put your cap back on. You're going to push down after you line up the cap to the neck, and you're going to twist down, and then you're going to go again and twist down. It's a little tough. You're going to hit 1 notch, push down again, and then hit another notch, and then you're good.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.